ProtonMail, don't fail. We need you. I'm a happy ProtonMail customer, but is ProtonMail just trying to become the next Gmail? Are they going to fail? I hope not, but pretty soon they're going to impale the veil of privacy. Today, on Operation ProtonMail, don't become the next Gmail. Let's get it. So a lot of people ask me what is the best private and secure email, and I've done a video here on Privacy X, so check it out. You can also go to privacyxproject.com and check out the video over there where I break down what I recommend doing. Spoiler alert, ProtonMail is on the list of my top emails, and I am a customer, a happy paying customer. ProtonMail has a free option and a paid option, and I recommend them, and I am a happy customer of their paid email service. I have 4 email providers, which I talk about in that email. You can see my email system because I break it down. But let's break this down. And I think this is something you really want to know if you're a fan of ProtonMail, because the reality is companies got to make money, right? Companies got to make money. And one of the biggest issues with Google is you've got Google everything. Google's got YouTube, Google's got Drive, Google's got just 100 different companies. All these different, and Amazon does the same thing. Apple's gotten, we're in the monopoly era, okay? These guys are literally the monopoly men, just cleaning up. Fine. But ProtonMail was always a great private, secure email, encrypted end-to-end encryption. Now, a lot of people say ProtonMail, which is located in Switzerland, is just a branch of the CIA. Now, basically, people claim that everything is a branch of the CIA. If you're not familiar with the CIA, it's an American alphabet agency that is technically not supposed to be operational in the United States, which is questionable. They have been caught more times than a kid stealing cookies. But the fact is, they're not supposed to be operational in the US. So whenever something pops up like Tor or ProtonMail, people say it's an extension, it's an arm of the CIA. I don't think it is. I don't have any proof that it is. I don't have any proof that it isn't. I use them, although I will tell you that email is never, your deepest, darkest secrets should not be used email or text. You're better off writing a letter. A coded letter would be better, because at least then it's you, although the mail service is pretty much a joke also. Just talk to the person in a secure room. That's what you need to do. But the reality is email is important. It's an important communication tool, and it still is one of the most commonly used communication tools, not only for businesses, but in general. Nowadays we have direct messages and DMs, but the thing is, everyone knows that those aren't secure at all. We have an endless stream of people from companies that get into your DMs, whether it's Twitter or Instagram. There's zero privacy. Assume those are public, basically. So ProtonMail is supposed to be this great option for email. The problem I'm starting to have with ProtonMail, and I've been talking to some other privacy advocates about this, is you have Proton VPN, you have Proton Drive. So you got Proton Email, which you can use on your computer using Proton VPN, which is a secure tunnel. So a lot of you use things like SSL, secure socket layer, and then you use a VPN. So you have your virtual private network, and you think, okay, I'm safe, I'm secure. The thing is, no matter what you do on the internet, somebody has a log of that, okay? Now, you don't want your ISP, your internet service provider, to have a log, so you use a VPN. Okay, Proton VPN, good VPN, okay, but keep in mind then they have a log. Now, they claim they don't keep logs. Can we verify that? Of course not, but I haven't seen any reason to doubt Proton, so let's give them the benefit of the doubt. But somebody has a log. Could they, in theory, keep it and provide it to an alphabet agency? Yes, absolutely. Would they or do they? There's no way to know. There's no way to know. Until it comes out publicly on a mass scale, there's no way to know. But when you have a company that has a VPN and an email and a drive which stores, and nobody stores junk mail. You store your most important stuff. Now, your most important stuff could be logos for your business. Your most important stuff could be, blog posts you've written. It could be graphics that you had created. It could be designs for t-shirts that you sell. But it could also be other important stuff. I'm not talking illegal, but I'm talking important documents. Now, does ProtonMail have access to that? Well, ProtonMail consistently says they don't have access to anything. But the problem arises when you have a company that, just like Google, controls too many things. And we've seen this time and time again. And so I don't fault ProtonMail for being a company trying to grow their revenue and adding other services. But it does get a little sketchy, because the problem is if you use too many of their services, then you leave Google, which has full control, to another company that has full control. Now this company, Google, will just basically tell you, look, we scrape your data, we sell it, we steal it, we don't care. Like, at least Google is honest. And I assume ProtonMail is honest. If you're using Google, you know they're taking everything and just plastering it everywhere they can. ProtonMail claims everything's under lock and key of encryption. Okay. I have no reason not to believe them, which is why I'm a happy customer of their email service. A lot of people say, Cody, should I get Proton VPN and Proton Drive? My answer is I compartmentalize everything. So do I recommend having one company have multiple things? So for example, I might use private internet access, which is a VPN that's pretty good. And then I might use ProtonMail or Tutanota or one of these other email services. And then I might use the Brave browser. And then for another one, I might use Tor. And then for another one, I might use Firefox, or on my phone, Firefox Focus. Or, so you compartmentalize, which I do a lot of videos here on Privacy X about compartmentalization. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, check out our videos, because we put out new videos all the time. But that's really what I recommend. I recommend compartmentalizing. So I don't recommend using them in tandem together, because it gives them like a gateway for multiple. They can see all your internet traffic through your VPN. They can read all your communications through your ProtonMail. They can look at all your files through your drive. And again, they claim it's all encryption, but this has never held up. In the history of time, this has never held up. So otherwise, ProtonMail somehow has skated to the point where the FBI has never came after them, or the CIA has never came after them, or they've given in and we just don't know it. Those are really the only two options. Now, do I believe that nobody's ever came knocking on their door? No, I don't, which makes me suspicious, because the most powerful email providers that actually were encrypted, there's two of them that I know of, and they've both went out of business, because as soon as the FBI came to their door, they said, we could not provide this, and the FBI talked about destroying their world, and they just went out of business. They went out of business. So how does Proton, and you may think, well, Cody, the FBI has no jurisdiction. This company's in Switzerland. The FBI could take over Switzerland by lunch if they wanted to. Like, are you kidding me right now? Do you think that these international countries don't cooperate with the United States? The United States has backroom deals with every major country, all of them. And if you think one of the, like, these countries, and the thing about the United States is the United States does not care about their reputation at all. The United States does not care about their reputation in the world, because we're the greatest, and we know we're the greatest, and we tell everyone they're the greatest. At least that's what the U.S. says. So the U.S. has no problem taking a black eye. The U.S. will say, look, you're going to do what I say, period. But you can go on the news and say you stood up to us or you told us no. We don't care. We don't care, because the fact is, any rational person knows that the U.S. could take over most countries by lunch and then go hang out. Like Canada, Switzerland, all of Europe. Like, these countries don't have a chance in hell to fight the U.S. The U.S. just doesn't have the biggest military in the world. It's like 3 times bigger than number 2, and like 10 times more powerful, and 100 times more technologically advanced than everybody. Now, could the U.S. take on the whole world at once? No, the whole world would end, but so would everyone else. Now, I know we're being a little dramatic here, and that's not going to happen. Well, I hope. Most people hope. I guess it could. But the reality is, these countries never stand up to the U.S. Just like these congressmen and women who go on TV acting tough and then behind the scenes are pathetic. Okay, it's all a show. Switzerland gets more benefits by complying. Canada always breaks to the United States' will. Canada will never stand up to the United States behind the scenes, ever. What are they going to do, dude? Oh, it's against our sovereignty. that we don't recognize you as a country. You do it. You think the amount these countries bend to the United States is shocking. So, but the United States will say, hey, here's $1 billion, because we print money out of that. Hey, I know you're struggling. Here's $500 billion. Take it and give me what I want, or I'll take what I want and tell you to kick rocks. I mean, that's basically the options. If you ever known anybody in the high level in the CIA, FBI, the high level in the military, they'll tell you some serious stories about how the United States is run. And it isn't like please and thank you like you see on the news. It's this is what you're going to do, or you're an enemy of the United States, which nobody on earth wants. Literally 0 people want. Even the United States is its own worst enemy. It'll rip itself to shreds, which I'm shocked it hasn't done. The United States is like Mike Tyson in his prime, just has the power to punch through walls, but if he's not careful, will destroy himself, right? It's the same kind of concept. Like the United States is, it's almost too powerful for its own good, but it doesn't know where to aim its power. So if you look at ProtonMail, do I believe that they've like, nope, we're in Switzerland and we're not going to comply? I really don't, which is why I don't give them more than just my email. But I think it is a good service. I think it's better than most. Now, maybe I'm wrong, and I honestly hope I'm wrong. I hope ProtonMail has stood up to the FBI and said, no, try me, make my day. Yeah, right. But, you know, you never know. Maybe it's possible. I know that I did a video on ProtonMail, and I can't tell you how many people contacted me and they're like, ProtonMail is just a part of the CIA. But you don't have any proof. Unless you have proof, it's not really worth saying. I've had a great experience with ProtonMail. So I'm not making this video to talk down to ProtonMail, but I am making this video to say I would not have more than one service with one company. And that's not just ProtonMail, that's every. But I get dozens and dozens of questions on a regular basis about ProtonMail. So I want to make this video to talk about my opinion. I would pick one of their services. I don't know about their Drive service. I don't use it, so I can't tell you how good it is. But I have used their VPN, which is really good. And I do use their VPN. I compartmentalize that on my work computer only. And I do use ProtonMail, and I use that on my phone and on my work and personal computers. Or no, excuse me, my work and my phone. My personal computer, I use a different email provider. But as long as you compartmentalize. But I never use Proton VPN with ProtonMail, and I never multi-use services like most people do with Google. They're in the ecosystem. I don't think these ecosystems are going to be very good for people long term. Now, ProtonMail is probably better than a lot of the other ones, but it's still an ecosystem that you don't want to be in. Anyway, that's my take on it. What do you think? Do you think ProtonMail is awesome? Do you think it's the best service out there? Or do you think it's just a branch of some alphabet agency? Let me know down below. Make sure you go all in everything you do in your life. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video.